as a bootstrapped entrepreneur doing things without evidence of success or performance, or looking at what business people call key performance indicators or KPIs. I did not function that way. I did not. What I focused on was what I wanted. And what I wanted typically had nothing to do with the business and what I was doing in the business. It never did. It had to do with something I wanted. The business was a vehicle to get me there. And there's a saying in Buddhism and some of the mystical practices, don't confuse the raft with the shore. And what I think happened to me probably 2018, 2019, and then even earlier, as I got more jaded and cynical about everything, is I started confusing the raft from the shore. And I started looking at how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Which is what clients are asking. So back in my 20s, we had a lot of manufacturers that ran brands. So big national global brands, boutique brands that did creative things. And there was a lot of how's it going all the time? How'd the show go? Did Nordstrom's buy yet? On and on and on. I have a choice whether I accept that as my reality or not. It's theirs, doesn't have to be mine. And that continued as I got into selling marketing communication services and then later marketing analytic software technology. How's it going? That's called a pipeline review. So the people who were paying me wanted to know, how's it going? So they want evidence. The truth is, I didn't care because that wasn't why I was there. I had my own agenda. The question of allowing someone else's agenda to become my agenda is a critical question in terms of the feeling of arrival and knowing prosperity no matter what's happening. Who decides? I decide, not them. When I started my sales outsourcing and lead generation company, it started to change. First couple of years, same thing. How's it going? And I was okay with that. And I thought, I'm going to do the best I can here. But their reality was not going to become my reality. I had an agenda, my agenda, not their agenda. They're paying me money. My job is to give them what they want. But my job is not to take on their agenda as my reality. It started to happen around 2018, 2019. I started to take on that agenda as my reality because stuff got tough. It got tough. And it was because of change. And as Google and Microsoft started blocking me from what I was doing on behalf of my clients to make them money and get them meetings and leads and opportunities and help them develop their pipelines, I started feeling the pressure of how's it going? And I took that on as my problem. Now, it's my responsibility to deliver results for people who are paying me. To do the best I can is the best I can do. And I have always done the best I can. I have never not focused on quality product ever since I was 21 years old. I've focused on quality product. It's the best I can. How's it going? Is not a question I care about, but they do. So I have to figure out how to answer it in a way they can understand, but I do not have to take on their issue, which is fear. How's it going question is based in fear. What can we do together to make this work better is a rare client in the service industry. Rare. And software, if you're working for somebody who's running sales. Rare. What can we do together? is a different kind of environment. And I thought, what can we do together is the environment I want to be in. I don't want to be in an environment of how's it going? And that led to getting there. And I'm there now. The feeling of arrival, how to know prosperity without evidence. There is no more how is it going? Where is that question coming from really? Who's really asking the question? The client? My sales boss? The market? Looking at metrics and KPIs and my goals? Is it them? Was it them when I got into social media, when I got into group coaching, scalability, using content, creating events, all this stuff, and then saying, how many likes did I get? How many comments? How's my sales funnel pipeline, or let's say community as a pipeline? How is my 1,000-member list of people who came to my events? Do they like me? How can I prove it? What is the evidence that this business is succeeding or not succeeding? The deeper I got into that thinking, the worse things got for me. The less prosperity I had, the less the feeling of arrival, and the more the separation inside me of knowing this is for me. That happened to me being part of the social media economy. It had never happened before to that degree. And it started due to technology change that was disrupting my business. And the work became getting freedom from that. Freedom from what? Does it have anything to do with the them? No, 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 it doesn't. Who is telling me that it's not going well? Who is saying, well, your metrics need to be better? Who is saying, what about your KPIs? Who is saying, oh, you don't have enough likes. You don't have enough comments. Oh, no, it's not about likes. It's about comments. Oh, no, it's not about comments. It's about engagement. Oh, no, it's not about engagement. It's about conversion. Oh, no, it's not about conversion. It's about quality conversion. Oh, no, it's not about quality conversion. It's about purpose and meaning and giving back. Who is doing this to me? Them? Teaching me those things that are not relevant to me. None of it is relevant to me. How to know prosperity without evidence is relevant to me. The feeling of arrival now, not when it happens, not when it happens, in a way that can be evidence based. None of that's relevant to me. What changed was what? Me. Who's responsible for my life? Me. Is anybody else? No. How much am I responsible for my life? What's the percentage? 100%. Is anybody doing anything to me that matters to me? 100% no. Who is allowing other people to tell me if I'm succeeding or not? Nobody. I'm taking on someone else's belief system as if it's real for me. And I'm like, why am I doing this? And that was the key question. Why am I doing this? Why am I allowing other people to evidence me in terms of their opinion and judgment of how it's going? The question of how's it going became my own question to myself because I was watching people on social media tell me what to think and how it works and what is right and what is not right. So I allowed these people these gurus on social media to set up KPIs for me. And I'd never done it in my entire life. Freedom from that became the project. So as 2022 was wrapping up, I didn't understand this yet, and I was grinding myself into a pulp. And I took a vacation. We went to New York City in January or December into January, and I thought, I don't want to go because I got to make it happen. I got to make it happen. Because I'm listening to other people's metrics and KPIs as if they're real for me, and they're not. And then I did a weekend with the men's group that I was a part of, and I was doing a lot of Napoleon Hill work at the time, deep work, and I was doing a lot of stuff with law of attraction. Now these two modalities now feel like beginner stuff, but at the time they were pretty intense and useful, both of those things. So I'm starting this like November, December, and into January, and then I launched Solopreneur Inc. Virtual Campus, which was a purpose-based business. And I was looking at the market and saying, these solopreneurs need a lot. They need people to provide them a comprehensive solution for business, technology, mindset, marketing, sales, social media. And I'm like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And I found Skool, which was kind of, now nobody heard of it yet, but I saw it, and I signed up for that. It's kind of pricey. And some people signed up, and I looked at the metrics and I thought, this isn't working. But there was a bigger story. So people told me, no, it's not about volume. It's about quality. You got 15 people here paying you. That's a good start. And I was like, not really. So they're telling me what metrics are important, not me telling myself, because they don't matter. That's the whole point of this. Because prosperity without evidence is a feeling of arrival without having to get anything. That's the secret. So I'm watching this and I'm thinking, I'm spending a lot of time with these people and I'm not having fun. Why? I'm not a motivator. They're solopreneurs. They wanted motivation. They wanted somebody to help them get off the couch and motivate them to figure stuff out and spoon feed them the directions. They wanted a playbook of directions. And that's not what I wanted to do at the time. And I felt like this isn't working. I'm a couple years in on this experiment. I already have a business. And my wife's like, what the hell are you doing? You're ruining our vacation in New York because all you're thinking about is your solopreneuring product launch. I'm on a weekend with, 40 men, and we're doing our thing, and I'm doing the Napoleon Hill stuff like a maniac and law of attraction like a maniac, and the wrong way, by the way. I know that now a couple of years later. And all I can think about is my launch and the metrics and KPIs from that launch. Will it work? Won't it work? Will it work? Won't it work? Abdicating responsibility for my own inner condition and state to someone else who decides yes or no. Now taking on their belief as my reality. So I closed it all. And I'm going back to my business. I didn't want to. The feeling of overwhelming overnight success didn't start in February of 2023. Instead, without evidence, I knew that I had to keep going. And I knew that with certainty. Clarity, confidence, and certainty without knowing anything was where I was. And the mistake was I paid a couple of coaches money, a lot, when I shouldn't have, but I needed to learn at the end. Nobody has an answer for me, and they certainly didn't. Coaching with people when you know more than them is not good, because coaches are not about teaching me things that I don't know or need to know. That's just education. And you can get that for free today. Coaching was about holding space so I could figure it out myself. Those were my mentors. They were experts. And I didn't have anybody like that. So I had to blaze my own trail. And I did. And that was the answer. Through the year, I did a beta test with what I called Red Pill Pathway, as that started coming to me as a direction. And I followed it. And I thought, this is different. I don't know what the hell it is or what it's for, but I'm going this way. And I signed some people up. And then I thought, oh my God, I'm going to launch a pilot after this messy beta gets me some understanding of what this is. I don't even know what this product is. But I kept going and I kept trying things. And then I said, okay, here's the product. And I refined it. I wrote it down. I codified it. And I said, I know what to do. And again, it's still just me. And well, I had a partner with Solopreneur Inc., but now I'm on my own doing this new thing and taking passive income from my other company, which is the only way I was able to do this. It wasn't enough, but so I'm still burning cash. Bad financial decision at my age to do any of this stuff, but I had to do it, and I did. That's an entrepreneur thing. And if you're not one, it's like you don't have to take this level of risk to succeed in this economy. But if you're an entrepreneur, you're probably going to. But not everyone has to. That's the point of that. So I'm doing the beta, and someone got a result. Two people. One got a real result. The other one got a result too, which was, I don't want to do coaching anymore and the way I've been doing it. And I don't want to market myself anymore. That was the result for them. The other person got a different kind of result. And I saw that and I felt really good about it. And then a few people didn't get a result. And one of the comments I got was, your fire hose is crushing me. That's how I heard it. And I'm like, how much money was this worth to you? And he told me, and I gave him the rest back. And the other one, same thing. And I gave her some of the money back, most of her money. He got a lot out of it. And he's like, well, so it was less for him. And I thought, oh, this is somehow going somewhere. What am I saying here? Overwhelming feeling of success, in clarity with confidence, but not certainty yet, but feeling like I'm moving there. But the evidence from anybody else's perspective is, I had people tell me this, your sales method's terrible. What are you doing? I don't understand it. It's confusing. And I'm like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But I'm in a war inside myself, creating my own confusion because I'm listening to them and they didn't know. And I took on what they believed as my own reality sometimes. And then I was like, no, 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 I'm not going that way. Despite their insistence, I didn't know what I was doing occasionally. These are real conversations too. I'm not just making this up, looking around. That was worse. Looking at all the social media influencers and thinking, no, that's wrong. I'm not doing that anymore. That was easier, but still felt bad sometimes because I felt like, wow, I've known these people for 4 years now or 3 years, and they're already at 700 grand, 50 grand a month, and I'm still struggling to get like one paying client. And I'm like, but I'm in the right direction. So I'm not going to worry about their $700,000 business. Or one guy I was talking to, I'm like, how much are you doing now? He's like 700K. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That's where I thought I was going to be at this point, and I'm not. And I'm making nothing. Now my other business got to almost 1.5 million that year, passive income. So I'm like, well, that's pretty good. but I didn't care about that business. I just needed the money out of it. That wasn't the point. And people would be like, well, use that as social proof. Get your marketing to get, no, that's not what I'm doing. Don't tell me what to do. You don't know. No idea. You have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. How can you know? All you see is evidence and lack of KPIs. And you're like, well, it's not working. And I'm like, I know it's working. How do you know, Larry? Feeling of prosperity inside is expanding. That's how I know. That's the point. Inner directed awareness is the point. If you're an entrepreneur, you're going to have to do that somehow, or the world is going to make you insane. Frankly, that's true for anybody doing anything in self-employment or frankly in life. But in self-employment, you don't have much of a choice because you're not getting a structure provided to you or a belief system in the company infrastructure you're in. You got to create your own. If you allow other people, if I allow other people into that to create that for me, for some people, it's necessary for a while because they can't handle or tolerate the uncertainty that someone like me can. Entrepreneurs can tolerate more uncertainty than most people, a lot of uncertainty. Most people can't for very long, and they can't tolerate not getting a KPI met. Wow, nobody comments on my post. It's not working. It's not working. It's not working. I'm like, try doing it for 2 more years. Keep going, keep going. Well, we got to go in the right direction. If I'm going in your direction, I'm going fast in the wrong direction. I'm going fast in the wrong direction, posting content that's now getting tons of comments. And I got there in 2020 and early 2021. That was just learning. Getting no comments on stuff I cared about was better than having posts blowing up with thousands and thousands of views and all these back in the earlier days when that was easy to do on LinkedIn. Now it's hard to do. But that's not what I wanted. I don't want a social media influencer company. That's what I realized. That's not what I want. That's not permanent. I want a real solution, not being popular. Popular is not a real solution because eventually then you become not popular because things change. Plus, a lot of those people don't make real money. I haven't seen most of these people that can't get past 1 million in revenue. One guy is, 5 million passive income. And I'm like, you are a total outlier on the curve. I was taught way back, throw out the outliers. If you're going to look at a market, the worst and the best are not necessary. You want to look at the cluster going up to the high quality and be in there. Maybe you get an outlier status, but don't go for it. That's insane. And I see a lot of people doing that. They're following these people. Oh, I got to 5 million. I got to 100 million passive. Like, you're not going to get there. That's an outlier. Don't look at the outlier in the statistics. That's craziness. What happened is nobody signed up or paid for my pilot in September 20th of 2023, and I felt a feeling of prosperity and success. And I wrote about it, and I had somebody reach out to me and say, I'm sorry it didn't work out. I was confused, legitimately. Like, I said it worked out because he can only see evidence. I felt it was right, and I knew it was right. And other people said, well, that didn't work. It did work. And then the pilot attracted the right people. And we've been doing it September 2023 to September 23 to September 2024. Yeah, we're in November. Now it's done. What evidence do I have? I have a group of founding members that are world class. World class. That's what I always wanted. Best product in the market. I have the best product in the market right now. You'll see. You'll see. That's what I want. Best product in the market that works. No more bullshit. That's what I wanted. I had that when I was in my 20s. We had the best product in the market, and I did that with my dad. but without me, it wouldn't have happened when I was in my 20s. And we were known for this. We were the brand, the curator of the coolest stuff in our market. So people came and sat down and worked all day long with us. And they felt good about it. They're like, wow, this is great. Thank you. You curated all this stuff for us and it sells in our stores. I wanted back to that. That business is gone, dead. That entire industry is gone. Having a wholesale or distribution company or manufacturer's repping company in the United States right now, unless you're selling to microbreweries or influencers on LinkedIn, people who want to become popular on LinkedIn, that's selling right now. But what I was doing, selling to retailers at scale, died because they didn't need us anymore. And we had the power position for years. Now I'm there again because I followed my own way. I didn't listen, but I listened to myself. The feeling of arrival has been there for 2 years. Now I've arrived. How to know prosperity without evidence? You feel it. How do you get there? We have an invincibility meeting twice a day that Brian runs, and it's how to get there. It's a big part of it. It's not all of it. What I realized with Solopreneur Inc. and why it didn't fit for me is it wasn't the best product in the market. It was another one of those. It was another how to succeed coaching program wrapped in a community with one person and their perspective being the product. And another kind of workshop oriented networking sort of thing on school and Zoom rooms. And I thought, eh, when you've had a world-class product, elite like I have had, you can't go back to crappy or mediocre or even above average. And I thought, how do I get a world-class product, attract world-class people? That's what I've done. So every day, twice a day, this is just one thing out of a lot of things. Brian does an invincibility dojo session. If you've ever heard of Ashtanga yoga, it's everyone's yoga. In other words, not his way, your way. He can get you there. And then I do a More Money Now session about business development success after that. It ties together. And we have a weekly summit club where you can share who you are without anybody giving you advice. We have a Family Matters First weekly session where you can talk about the reality of your family without anybody telling you what to do. I have a market authority planning meeting every week, how to become a market authority and plan for that. What's most important is that it's not about me. It's not about my perspective. It's about your perspective. And it's not just me. You'll see soon. This is coming out on our website. We finally figured out the calendar problem with Go High Level. It wasn't Go High Level's fault. And got a communications clarity session every week. We've got a brain clarity session every week. We've got a technology clarity session every week. It's part of it. Nobody has this at this level because it's best in class. I'm not getting into all the names yet of all the people involved because you'll see. You'll see. We have a boundary clarity session every week. We've got a closing business using content session every week. Best in class teacher. It's not his way. It'll be your way using the principles he's figured out for reality because he's there. He's not a work in progress. He's already there. This is what I've always wanted. Best in class product. You can't disrupt best in class product when it was built and constructed creatively from an inner feeling of prosperity without evidence over a period of years in a marketplace based on a wave of what's coming next in that marketplace with the people in the marketplace. It can't be displaced. That's what I wanted. Changes will come. It's going faster now. Whenever anybody does anything that works, it's immediately copied and scaled. You can't scale what I did because it's unique and original. And you can do exactly the same thing if you're willing to start with the feeling of prosperity, your own thoughts, your own approach, do it your way within guidelines, as much form and guidelines and structure and support as you need. It's a choose your own adventure approach.